Here's a video about fitting fuel taps to the balance hoses on the Tiger Explorer so as to allow the removal of the fuel tank to clean the air cleaner in dusty conditions without having to empty the fuel tank. Hope you find it helpful. Sorry that most of it's been shot in low light conditions, but I hope that it might provide some solutions for other Explorer riders. Sorry about the low light here, but just wanted to show taking the air cleaner out of my Triumph Explorer. There's an air cleaner there, just slots out that slot there like that. You can see where I'm riding it because I've just taken it to Cape York and I'm thinking about doing some work in Western New South Wales. You can see that it's going to be fairly dusty, and so this is really about, you can see there, very hard to get it all clean again once it's been to Cape York. Anyhow, what I want to show you is just one of the pitfalls with the Tiger, and if anybody from Triumph ever watches this, it'd be really great if you solve this problem. One of the dramas you've got is that when you're in low light conditions, you need to be able to clean that air filter or replace it during the trip, and so that's really difficult with the fuel tank, because the fuel tank has you've got to drain the fuel out of the tank. And so if you have a look over here, what I've done is I've actually fitted taps now to the fuel tank. I've tried a few different types of taps. So you've got to fit at those points there where it balances. So you get those taps, and one over there in that corner of the tank there as well. So you can get that to so that those taps can be turned off, so the tank can still have fuel in it. I've tried a few different types of taps. I tried these ones here, those brass ones there like that, and a few different other brass ones, and they all leaked. And after a bit of trial and error, I found these ones here that I bought from a local mower shop. You've got to get 8mm ones, so the larger types, they were the go. And so I just cut the fuel lines and just put those in, and used little hose clamps there. Sorry, little hose clamps there like that to fit those bits on. I'm sure that if it was done by the original manufacturer, it could be a whole lot better, but that's the best I can do at the moment. So just put that back together and I'll show you what that looks like. Just make sure you don't over tighten these, because they're just going into plastic, so they can strip out. I think they'd strip out. Just making sure they're all down firm. And the real trick then is to make sure you get, see that one is a bit not so good. Right. Real trick then is to make sure you get all these plugs plugged back in. So like that, and like that. Then we're ready to put the fuel tank back on. It's one of those things that seems like a better idea in the design. This is great when it works, to get it work, but you've got to push those two little tabs. I don't know if you can see there, that little tab there on the side of there, and there's one on the other side there. You've got to squeeze those together to get this to click in over the top. Not so hard to put it back on, but to take it off, it's really quite difficult. So just get to click on there like that, and then it has this little guard that goes over the top just to make sure it doesn't slip off. Which all works pretty well, but like I say, it's a bit hard. There's two clips underneath, two electrical feeds underneath there, and then there's two of these vent pipes, one on each side. So just make sure you don't forget to pull those off and put them back on. I just use this Allen key to hold the tank up there. Just makes life a little bit easier. Okay, I've got to go around and hook my taps up now. When you put these on, just make sure that you get the one, first of all, that you use this type of filter, the one with the tail that goes right around the inside, that type of clamp. And if you're going to use these clamps, see motorcycles don't tend to use them, and that's probably a good reason. But so we just squeeze that back on there. Right. And then just make sure it's out, it's poking out obviously, so you can get the screwdriver in to tighten it up, because it's not much good if you want to do it on the road amongst the dirt and flies and stuff, and you can't actually get to it. So just clamp that on there. That's nice. And you don't think, oh, I've clamped that one on, turn the tap on, because these are balance hose. The fuel will start leaking out the other ones. So just do them one at a time. Do them all on and then come around and turn them on. So right, they're all just a fraction different in the way in which they work. Right, then up this one on the front. This one up here I found the hardest to get to. I think I might have messed with the hose a bit much here and stuff and made it a bit harder. So getting it to go on. It came off alright before, but getting it to go back on I found is a bit of a challenge. Like all motorcycles, there's never quite enough room for your hands to go in. There you go. On the other side. This one here looks a bit awkward, but this will slide forward a little bit when the tank comes down. Once the I've had a lot of dramas with these doing this. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. First of all, it seemed to go okay, but the taps I had were too small, they're only 6mm, and then the hose got pinched, and I'm going along the road and all of a sudden fuel's pouring out from underneath my bike because the hose is split. So we had to cut it and do it again. That's partly because I had the wrong hose clamps I was telling you about before. So once you've got all those sealed up, it's probably worth your while just to go around now and turn all those taps on. Just put the tank back down there. Just got to make sure you just tuck that tap in there. Just make sure it's pushed up. And so that's all right there. You can reach in there and turn that off with a pair of pliers if you need to on the road. I can tell you I've done it. Alright, so then we just go and put the tank back together. And that pretty much does it. Hope that you've enjoyed that and it's of value to you. Thanks.